to a special episode of Stitch Method. I'm sitting here with Nicholas Kraster, who is the owner of Kraster Guitars,
yes,
and an excellent guitar player. And we're here today to bring you bring you some ideas about arpeggios. And today we're going to be using actually one of your band's songs, right? So what's your band's name?
the name of the band I'm in is Ari and the Alibis.
Yes,
ARI and the Alibis.
And you're on Spotify and all the places.
Spotify, iTunes, ariandthealibis.com, at Ari and the Alibis. Social
I'll
everything.
have a scroll thing going with, with the information. And we're using one of your songs, which he came over, and we're kind of demoing right now. We're just kind of a demo party of Kraster guitars, which you can probably see, by the way, are excellent looking instruments, all right? And they play well as well. And I'm sure you'll see more of that on Stitch Method. Okay, awesome.
Definitely.
So, you know, he played a song for me, which was called
Mice and Me.
Mice and Me, off their newest album, right?
Yep,
and
off the home album.
Home album, such a good song, and he laid a loop down and he started doing these arpeggios, and I said, you know what, Nick, I haven't presented a lesson on Stitch Method about arpeggios yet, and he did such a good job of taking these arpeggios and breaking them down to a really cool melody. It's an idea that you guys can use when you write songs and what to look out for. And so why don't we discuss the chord melody, the chords that are going underneath these arpeggios.
All right.
Yeah.
So the chord progression for the song is A major, A major 7.
A major 7, fingering 0, 2, 1, 2.
That's what's going to happen there. A major 7,
Yep.
A dominant 7, then D, then B minor, and it's going to walk the B down.
To a B minor major 7.
B minor majors.
There it is, folks. The chord I say you never see before, and you'll see it. So what it is, just let you know, that chord right there, B minor, 9th fret on the A string, you're going to bar it on the 7th fret, and that's, right, sorry, no, actually,
D string.
on the D string. If I actually play guitar, and there's the D string, there's your root, and then you're going to lower the root 1 fret. There you go. Apologize. Can you do, and then to a full minor 7.
And then to an E7.
E7. Excellent.
So when I play it in the song, it's like this. I use an inversion that's up higher.
Oh, that's so tasty. My God, that's a good chord progression.
And of course, I got a little Hendrix riff in there.
How could you not?
You got it.
Excellent.
It's the law in some states.
And if you want to understand what he's doing, go see him live like we just talked about. He's an excellent guitar player. It's fun to watch his hands do it. All right, so if I play this part, can you demo those arpeggios?
Yeah, I can. At the end of the song, and this is very fishy.
Surprise.
Huge Fish fan. So when on this album, I really tried to pull from my influences and just like say, here's where I got it from. You know, like there's a lot of Pink Floyd ideas in Fish and some other people like Andrew Lloyd Webber and Astor Piazzolla and all kinds of stuff in there. But one of the things I always loved that Fish did was these great arpeggios that just created this joy to it.
Right.
So I wanted to throw that into the song, and so at the end of the song, at the climatic build, it's doing a major arpeggio,
Yes.
which is.
So I'm gonna kind of explain that really quickly.
So you're doing 1 3 5, 1 3 5 3 1.
Right, and just to say, you know, Stitch Method style. Sorry, the root note, major third is always next door, right behind it, and the 5 is 2 frets up from your root. And this is a happy little neighborhood that I think every major chord is built off of. So you really want to know this guy. So it's not threatening when you play an A major chord and somebody. What I call it, I'm going to remove this little clip. I think this. Look at that, yeah. What I think a lot of people understand, I call it kick-catting, because you take the chord, you kind of break it up into its little pieces, like a kick-cat part, right? So the first arpeggio you have doing is the 1 3 5.
Yeah, and real quick, of the 4 chords in the progression, 3 of them start with that kind of shape. Because you're going to be doing that one.
Right. And so it's a major arpeggio.
So that major arpeggio is going to be used 3 times.
Nice.
But so the first one, because we're taking that walk down.
Yes.
So I'm doing is changing this note and doing the exact same pattern.
Can I talk about those notes?
Yeah.
All right. So stitch method style. Again, if I was doing it in the mind of Nick Kraster, I'd be thinking, okay, well we have an A chord, which is a 1, 3, 5, and then we have this A major 7. Now an A major 7 is still built on a major chord, but it's a 1, 3, 5 and a major 7th. Hence you get to that first fret: 0 on the A string, 2 on the D, 1 on the G, and 2 on the B. And it's this note now that what you're doing is you are changing actually the root note, and now you're saying, well, I dropped it to major 7, I'm going to keep the 5 and 3, but I'm going to go to major 7. And with a creeping suspicion to keep with the continuity, when you go to the A7, where we've now dropped the major 7 down fret, he has dropped his 7th to the flat 7. So what we can say here is what's really cool, a major arpeggio, major 7th like arpeggio, but really for melody style, where you're staying above the band and you're not doing all the arpeggios, but you're getting all the key ingredients, the major 7, the 3, and the 5. And same thing, a really cool dominant 7th arpeggio, which your hands are stretched out more than mine. I mean, I can barely do that, but there you go, right? And so really cool ideas right off the bat, just with your 5, 3, 1, you start backwards, 5, 3, major 7, 5, 3, flat 7. So you kind of want to play these arpeggios right now on top of a major 7th chord, a major chord, and a dominant chord, because you never know when you can use them in your melodies or just help you create some ideas, right? So far, sorry to... but there we go. And then our next chord is...
So then we're going to the D.
D. Okay.
So when we go to the D, we're using that same 5, 3, 1. And we're not moving it because that chord doesn't descend. So...
Yep. And you're starting on the 5 again. There's the 1, there's the 3, and the 5, same shape as you discussed.
So we're on a different string now. We're on the A and the D string,
right?
Instead of the D and the G string. So we're going to go back up to the G and the D string.
And this is now
for the B minor.
The B minor. So now
and that's a bit more of a stretch.
Okay, now yeah. Yeah, that's a great minor arpeggio.
So we're on G. We're at like 11, 7. What's that, 9?
9, yeah. And now, this guy will stretch your hands out. What's really unique is it lets you use a minor arpeggio, really stretch, where you're not thinking about it in the box.
Yeah.
You're out of the box. These are 2-string arpeggios, so you can't really think in a box. You gotta think of these clusters.
It's so much easier to play this way than like trying to do it like vertically.
Right.
Yes. You can just
right. It is, and let your picking hand use the momentum to gather these things. Absolutely. That's a great minor arpeggio. Continue.
So once again, we're walking down. And we switch strings again to go to the E.
Oh, yes. So before we get the E, what happened was we had the B minor, and then you play the B minor arpeggio. Then he went to B minor major 7. Again, I've documented on my channel. You'll never see this chord. And of course, here we are, and you wrote a song, and it's fantastic.
You're welcome.
And so what you did is you kept the minor 3rd, you kept the 5, important pieces, but you took out the note that changed and put in the note that changed too. And then when you get to the full B minor, you got a B minor 7, there's the flat 7. You have the root note, the major 7, and the flat 7. You're keeping the 3 and the 5. These are all great 2-string cluster ideas. For right now, we've discussed a major chord, a major 7th, a 7th chord, a minor 7th, a major minor 7th. And these are all arpeggios that you can use anywhere if you write them in your song. And the last chord we have is an E7. You take a unique approach to this is we ignore now, actually the same thing, we ignore the 7, and we're just playing the 1, 3, and 5. Or 5, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1. And so, sorry, keep going, what was that?
So one of the things is, it's a lot, where I actually play it when I'm playing the song with my band is up an octave higher, same strings, just up higher on the neck. And it's a lot easier to do the reach that way.
Oh, yeah.
But to see what I'm doing, I thought I'd do it down here. Make it a little easier.
I was gonna say a funny joke like, well, on Kraster guitars, any note is easy to reach, right?
That's
kind of true, though.
Yeah,
it's kind of true.
Well, seeing that on a Les Paul, you don't have this note.
Oh yeah, oh true, yeah, true.
So
there it is. There it is.
Then you got to stretch if you're playing a Les Paul.
Yeah, and I have one right there. But these guitars are awesome, and again, you'll be seeing them on the channel. So what I guess we'll do is now just let you know it's fun for you if you like this idea of finding 2-note arpeggio clusters. You know, we talked about how Nicholas is doing down here, but if you want to try and find the same notes up here, like he just showed you on your own, try to do it, because once you find them, then you'll have a major arpeggio. You'll have a major 7th arpeggio. You'll find them, and you can put them. Say you're in a band and just you're just playing, and you want to feel like. You can sit there and just mess around with those arpeggios and feel that's okay. It still sounded good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that chord progression twice, and he'll play it once down low, once up high, and you can hear how it accents or it kick cats the moment. And here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. Has a very diverse band. I mean, like, lots of good stuff. And when I'm listening to that, like you said, you love the band Fish and want to put your influences in. And in no way is this, it's not we're not stealing Fish. These are just arpeggios. Yeah. But
they're actually classical ideas.
Classical ideas,
like Mozart had arpeggios all over the damn place.
Exactly. If you want to hear, all I was thinking was, if you want to hear examples in Fish, one of the bands I love, I'm thinking the song Lizards or Bouncing Around the Room.
Lizards.
Yeah, right? And he's going to start playing. And the idea is you can sit and hear this stuff and you can put it in your music as long as you know how to make 2-note arpeggios, which is something that I think is not used enough in music, and I really do enjoy it. And so if you like this lesson, make sure you share and subscribe, and please check out Ari and the Alibis, and more importantly, KrasterGuitars.com. Right?
KrasterGuitars.com. And KRASTER.
Yeah, it's on the shirt. It's right there. And well, thank you so much for being here. And 2-note cluster arpeggios are really, really something you can add to your music and spice up kind of a cooking dish. Well, thank you for being here. I look forward to playing some of these awesome instruments. I'm not letting him leave until he gives me one. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for being here. Bye, guys.